There is an energy inside you so constant, so ancient, so quietly alive that you've stopped noticing it. It is the pulse beneath your heartbeat, the current under your thoughts, the silent furnace in your core. And from the moment you were born, the world has been trying to keep you from seeing it. Not because it isn't there, but because once you understand it, once you reclaim it, you become something that can't be controlled. They've distracted you. They've pulled your attention outward, toward endless noise, toward dopamine hits, toward desires that leave you empty the second they're satisfied. They taught you to crave what burns out quickly, instead of cultivating the fire that never dies. Here's the truth they didn't tell you. This energy is not rare. It's not given to a chosen few. It flows through everyone, but only a handful ever learn to harness it. Ancient teachers called it life force. Modern science calls it bioelectric potential. Mystics have called it prana, chi, spirit breath, and yes, even sexual energy. Whatever the name, this is the same power that can create life, heal the body, rebuild the mind, and bend reality toward your vision. And it is yours. But here's the catch. If you don't direct it, it directs you. It becomes lust without purpose, anger without justice, ambition without meaning. That's why they keep you chasing, scrolling, clicking, wanting. Because every second you leak this energy into meaningless distractions, you remain harmless, predictable, trapped in a loop you think is freedom. The ones who rise, the ones who quietly shape history, know how to reverse this leak. They know how to store it, circulate it, and ignite it toward a purpose so powerful that the entire universe seems to move in their favor. This is the art of energy mastery. Not just conserving your power, but transforming it into a frequency that commands reality to respond. And today, you're going to see exactly how it works. Think of your energy like a river, not the calm trickle you've seen in meditation posters, but a vast, roaring current capable of carving valleys through stone. At birth, this river is pure. It moves with its own intelligence, flowing exactly where it needs to. It feeds your creativity, your vitality, your instincts. But then, little by little, they start building dams. The first dam is distraction. When you were a child, you could sit with your own thoughts for hours. You could imagine whole worlds from a stick in the dirt. Your mind had room to breathe. Then they gave you screens, endless entertainment, noise that never stops. Every moment you might have spent feeling that inner current was replaced with something to look at. The second dam is shame. At some point, you became aware of your body, its urges, its power, and instead of being taught how to channel it, you were told to hide it, fear it, or just as dangerously, to indulge it without understanding it. Shame turns the river inward. It makes you afraid to even acknowledge your own energy. The third dam is false purpose. They told you to pour your energy into systems that were never built for you to win. Jobs that drain you, goals that aren't yours, ambitions handed down by people who don't even live the life you want. And so, this incredible current inside you becomes a shallow stream, barely enough to keep you alive, certainly not enough to make you unstoppable. But here's the truth they can't erase. The river is still there. Beneath every dam, it's still raging, waiting for you to release it. The question is, How do you break the dams without flooding your life into chaos? It starts with awareness. And this is where most people fail. They think energy work is about some mystical ritual, some exotic practice. But before any of that works, you have to actually see where your energy is going. Every thought you repeat, every emotion you dwell on, every action you take out of habit is either feeding your current or leaking it. Ask yourself and answer brutally honestly. How much of my day is spent in reaction instead of creation? When a notification lights up my phone, am I choosing to respond, or am I programmed to obey? When desire rises in me, whether for sex, for power, for comfort, do I master it, or does it master me? This is not about becoming emotionless. It's about becoming sovereign over your energy. Because here's the secret. Every moment you redirect an impulse toward a higher aim, you are transmuting energy. You're taking the same raw current that could be wasted on fleeting pleasure and turning it into fuel for something that lasts. The ancients knew this. The warriors who fasted before battle, the monks who meditated before speaking, the inventors who worked through the night, driven by a vision so consuming they forgot to eat. They all understood one thing. Energy unspent is energy available. And the more you store it, the more pressure builds behind the dam. When you finally release it, through art, through strategy, through decisive action, it hits with a force the world can't ignore. But here's the warning. If you break the dam without direction, the flood destroys more than it creates. That's why energy mastery is not just about holding back. It's about aiming forward. Your mind is the channel. Your vision is the path. Your discipline is the gatekeeper. Without them, you are just another person drowning in their own potential. With them, you become the rare type of human whose very presence bends reality. And there's one more layer, a truth most won't even believe until they've lived it. When you stop leaking your energy, life begins to match your stored intensity. Opportunities accelerate. People sense something in you, a gravity they can't explain. Doors open that others don't even see. Why? Because energy is not just personal. It's magnetic. What you hold, what you embody, draws its mirror into your life. This is the hidden mechanism behind manifestation. Not wishing, not affirmations said without feeling, but becoming so charged, so aligned, that reality has no choice but to rearrange itself around you. Now you'll see exactly how to begin storing and directing your own current, and why most people fail after only a few days. Because the moment you start to rise, the world will try harder than ever to make you spill your energy again, and you must know how to resist. The moment you decide to reclaim your energy, the resistance begins. Not from within you, at least not at first, from around you. It's subtle at first, a message from someone who only reaches out when they need attention. A sudden wave of boredom that makes you reach for your phone. A perfectly timed opportunity that would distract you from your real work. And then it gets louder. Old cravings resurface. Desires you thought you'd conquered suddenly burn hotter than ever. You'll start thinking about old habits, old pleasures, old ways of numbing yourself. Why? Because your mind and body are addicted to the pattern of leakage. Understand this. Energy follows habit. For years, maybe decades, your nervous system has been trained to respond to certain triggers with instant release. The moment you felt stressed, you distracted yourself. The moment you felt desire, you chased instant gratification. The moment you felt uncertainty, you drowned it in comfort. Now, when you decide to break that pattern, your system panics. It tells you, this is wrong. This is unsafe. This is uncomfortable. It's not unsafe. It's not wrong. It's just unfamiliar. And here's where most people lose. They make the mistake of thinking energy mastery is about fighting their impulses. It's not. If you fight an impulse directly, you give it power. You turn it into an enemy. And enemies grow stronger the more attention you give them. Instead, you redirect the impulse immediately into something aligned. This is the art of transmutation. If desire rises, instead of drowning in it or running from it, you move, you create, you write, you build, you train your body, you plan your next decisive move. Not tomorrow, not later. In the exact moment the impulse hits. Because in that moment, your energy is at its peak. Think about it. Every time you've ever done something extraordinary, whether in sports, art, business, or life, you did it with an elevated state of energy. You felt it in your body. Your senses sharpened. Your focus locked in. Most people waste that state on a quick release that leaves them weaker moments later. You will learn to catch it, contain it, and channel it. When you do this consistently, a shift happens that no book, no seminar, no hack can fake. Your baseline level of power rises. The small things that used to distract you stop mattering. The cravings that used to control you fade. And people notice. They can't always name it, but they can feel it. This is why ancient traditions, from samurai warriors to mystic monks, practiced energy retention. It wasn't about shame. It wasn't about denial. It was about capacity. The longer you store your energy, the more your capacity expands. And once it expands, it stays expanded. Your mind can hold more. Your body can endure more. Your spirit can radiate more. But this is the warning. If you go back to leaking it constantly, you shrink again. That's why the discipline must become a lifestyle, not a temporary challenge. So, how do you make it a lifestyle? You create channels. Energy that is not given a channel will find one on its own. And the ones it finds are usually the same old paths that keep you stuck. Your job is to carve new channels deliberately. Write down 3 things right now. 3 pursuits that matter so much to you that you would willingly pour your highest energy into them every day. It could be building your business, training your body to its peak, mastering a rare skill, creating art that moves people, serving a mission that outlives you. Those become your energy containers. Every time you feel the pull to leak, you pour into one of them instead. Over time, your brain rewires. The old patterns weaken. The new patterns become automatic. This is when your life starts accelerating in ways that don't make sense to others. Because you've become a conductor of your own current. Now we'll go deeper into the link between stored energy and perception. How retaining your current doesn't just make you stronger, it changes what you see. And once you see differently, you can never go back.
When you store your energy, you start to see differently. It's not magic. It's not woo-woo. It's physics. Your brain runs on electrical current. And that current is strongest when your energy is contained. Think about it. When you leak your life force, you're draining the very electricity that fuels your perception. Most people walk through life in a kind of fog, their senses dulled, their instincts muted, their ability to notice gone. And when you can't notice, you can't act at the right time. But the one who stores his energy, his awareness sharpens. He notices the shift in someone's tone. He catches the tiny detail in a conversation that others miss. He sees patterns in events before they become obvious. Why? Because his system has enough charge to process reality at a higher frame rate. It's like upgrading from a blurry screen to 8K resolution. The world is suddenly vivid. Opportunities stand out. Threats reveal themselves early. And here's the part they don't want you to know. When you can see reality with that level of clarity, you are almost impossible to control. Think of the systems you live in. Every ad, every headline, every trending topic is designed to pull your attention in the direction they want. And it works on the depleted. The depleted mind chases whatever is put in front of it. The depleted will follows whatever feels good in the moment. The depleted spirit never stops to ask, why is this in front of me at all? But when you're charged, you choose where to look. You choose what matters. You choose your focus, and your focus shapes your life. This is why the ancient keepers of knowledge guarded the truth of energy mastery so closely. They knew that once a person became aware of their own power and stopped wasting it on aimless desires, that person could no longer be herded with the crowd. History calls them mystics, sages, philosophers. But in truth, they were energy sovereigns. Every decision they made came from a place of abundance, not lack. From clarity, not confusion. Here's the twist. When you're charged, the world will respond to you differently. People will hold your eye contact longer. They'll feel something around you they can't explain. A kind of quiet gravity. Some will be drawn to it. Some will be threatened by it. But everyone will notice. This is where the temptation to waste your energy will spike again, because attention is intoxicating. And if you're not careful, you'll fall right back into the old loop. You'll think, I've built up so much energy, I can afford to release some. And just like that, the fog returns. So you must remember, energy mastery isn't about hoarding. It's about directing. Every day, you wake up with a choice. Will this current fuel your purpose or feed your distractions? Because here's the secret they never say out loud. Your reality doesn't just respond to what you do. It responds to what you carry. Your energy field is a signal. When it's weak, you attract chaos. When it's strong, you attract order. And the stronger it gets, the more the world starts bending around it. Now we'll break down exactly how to strengthen that field deliberately, so you're not just storing energy, you're amplifying it beyond anything you've felt before. That's when life stops being random and starts orbiting you. Most people think energy is static, that you either have it or you don't.
They're wrong. Energy is dynamic. It can be multiplied.
It can be amplified. It can be projected to the point where it influences everything within reach.
This is the stage most never reach. Because storing your energy is one thing, but learning to expand it, that's where reality itself starts shifting around you. Here's the truth. You are not just a body. You are an electromagnetic field, constantly broadcasting a signal. And that signal, whether weak or powerful, is shaping what you pull into your life. When your signal is weak, you attract scraps, half opportunities, situations that drain more than they give. But when your signal is strong, the equation flips. Opportunities seek you. People show up and say, "I don't know why, but I feel like I need to work with you." It's not random, it's resonance. So how do you amplify that field? It starts with 3 disciplines, each one building on the other. First, breath. Your breath is the bridge between your physical energy and your mental clarity. When you breathe shallow and fast, you signal to your nervous system that you're in survival mode. And survival mode shrinks your field. But when you slow your breath deep into the diaphragm, you signal safety. You activate the part of your nervous system that allows expansion. This is why ancient martial artists, yogis, and mystics trained the breath before anything else. They knew, if you control the breath, you control the current. Second, focus. Energy follows attention. And if your attention is scattered, so is your power. This is why the modern world is designed to fragment you. Notifications, endless feeds, manufactured outrage. If they can keep you chasing noise, you'll never have enough stillness to build. So you must reclaim your attention like sacred ground. Choose one thing each day that matters more than all the others, and pour your energy into it completely. Over time, your focus becomes a lens, and that lens concentrates your field like sunlight through glass. Third, purpose. Stored energy without a mission will eventually leak. It needs a direction. Purpose is what tells your energy where to go. Without it, you're just a battery waiting to be drained. And purpose doesn't have to be grand at first. It just has to be true. Maybe it's building a business. Maybe it's mastering an art form. Maybe it's shaping your body into its highest form. The specifics matter less than the fact that it matters to you. When these 3 disciplines align, breath, focus, purpose, your stored energy doesn't just sit inside you, it radiates. And here's the strange thing. People can feel it before they see it. It's in the way you walk into a room. It's in the stillness of your eye contact. It's in the way you speak less, but everything you say lands heavier. Your field becomes a gravitational pull. But remember, the stronger your field, the more the world will test it. Old temptations will circle back. Distractions will disguise themselves as opportunities. People from your past will try to pull you into old cycles. Not because the universe is cruel, but because it's asking, are you ready to hold this power without losing it? And if you can pass those tests, if you can keep directing the current no matter what, you'll notice something almost unbelievable. Reality itself starts rearranging to match the signal you're sending. And now we go deeper into what happens when your energy field becomes so strong, it starts bending probability in your favor. That's when manifestation stops being magic and starts being inevitable. When your energy field reaches a certain threshold, you stop chasing outcomes. They begin moving toward you. Not because you've earned them in some moral sense, but because the universe can no longer ignore the weight of your signal. This is the point where probability bends, where the unlikely becomes likely, where things that shouldn't line up perfectly. Think of it like gravity. A small rock doesn't pull much toward it, but a planet, its pull is so powerful that it shapes orbits. Your field works the same way. When it's weak, you're a rock being tossed around by bigger forces. When it's strong, you become the force that shapes the motion around you. This is why most people's lives feel random. They've never generated enough energy to anchor their reality. They're constantly reacting, being pulled by someone else's signal. But when you cultivate, store, and direct your energy with precision, you move from being an extra in someone else's story to becoming the author of your own. At this level, something interesting happens. Manifestation is no longer about wishing or asking. It's about alignment. Your field acts like a filter. Anything that doesn't match it simply can't stay. Anything that does match it is drawn in, often without effort. This is why ancient mystics called it the law of correspondence. As within, so without. Change your inner state, and the outer world rearranges to correspond to it. But here's the warning most won't tell you. When your field grows this strong, you will also repel things and people you thought you needed. Friends, habits, environments, all of them will start to feel off if they don't match your frequency. This isn't loss, it's calibration. The universe isn't taking from you, it's clearing space for what's truly aligned. So what's the real takeaway? You were trained to waste your most powerful energy, because if you truly understood how to harness it, you would stop being controllable. You wouldn't need constant entertainment. You wouldn't crave meaningless validation. And you wouldn't fall for the traps designed to drain you. Instead, you'd be building something so magnetic that the world would have no choice but to notice. And here's the secret that ties it all together. Energy doesn't lie. It can't be faked. You can post the quotes, say the affirmations, read the books. But if your field is weak, the results will match. But if your field is alive, if it's charged with stored potential, if it's directed toward a purpose you refuse to betray, then everything around you will bend to it. You don't need permission to do this. You don't need approval. You just need to stop leaking the current and start amplifying it. And when you do, you'll see why they never wanted you to know this. Because once you hold the power to direct your own energy, you stop playing by their rules. You stop playing small. You stop being predictable. You become the signal, and everything else becomes the response.